Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger. Today's episode, I'm chatting with Jenni Hunt. This is from a recent webinar we did together where we talk about how to find your niche. And to do that, you need to start with your people. You got to find your audience first. And I love talking about how to build a business from something that you're passionate about, to be able to turn your passion into profits, your interest into income, to be able to make money from something that you know. And it is all possible, guys. You can totally do this. If this is something that you have desired to do, you want to write a book, create a course, all that, you have to start by finding your audience. And that is where you start, is find the audience first. How can you serve them? Always looking to serve, and then that's how you grow. That's how you grow a business. So I think you'll really enjoy this episode with Jenni. It's packed full of awesome tips on how to find your people, which will in turn help you find your niche. Here's my interview with Jenni. It's so easy to not realize what you're good at because you're so good at it. It's something that, it's my friend Brian Dixon says you can't read your own label. And so Jenni laughs every time I say this, but imagine you are inside of a mayonnaise jar and you're trying to look on the out, and it could be peanut butter, whatever it is, name whatever, something you like. Maybe it's a jar of cookie butter from Trader Joe's. And you're looking and trying to figure out what the ingredients are from the inside. You can't see it. So you have to ask a friend, you have to ask somebody, hey, read this. We can't read our own label. It's so easy to not know what we're special at. And you guys, every single one of you are special. You're good at something. There's a topic that you are an expert at. And because you're an expert at it and you might not realize it, you'll overlook it. So an example, we're not going to put any names, but we had a call last night, one of our brainstorming calls, and the girl on there was saying that she struggled with this. Like, what was her topic? And one thing that in that webinar, I think we asked, if you had 10 people show up at your house, knock on your door, and sit in your living room, and you're going to serve them tea, cookies, and coffee, what would be that topic that you would teach them on? And that right there was the question that she needed to shine a light on what her topic is. And she's thinking, this is a topic that people are always asking me about. They're always asking me, how do you do this? What is that for you? What is that? So if you're struggling, you're not sure who your people are, you're not sure what your niche is, just think back to the last time or all the times that people have asked your advice for something. Why do they come to you for that? Most likely it's because you're good at that. They see you're good at that. Maybe you've overcome some challenge that they want advice on. Maybe you're good at doing something and they're asking, how did you do that? How did you make that? How did you create that? How did you create that website? How did you lose 100 pounds? Whatever it is, think about all those times that people are asking you for advice. That can be a clue as to what your thing is. Because if they're asking you those questions, there's other people that are asking those questions, and why not have them ask them of you? Because you are the expert in that.
Jenni, can I just qualify the word expert there? Because you might, like Ryan's saying, you might not feel like you're an expert, but other people are asking you for something, and they might not even say you're an expert, but they're asking you because they know that they either respect your opinion and your point of view, but they also likely have seen you overcome or seen you do something around that says that you know what you're doing more than they do. And that's really the point, is you might not consider yourself an expert, but it really doesn't matter. I promise you know more than other people. And that's really all you need, because that's what you're going to be sharing from, is what your own knowledge. And sometimes your knowledge might be, I know how to find out.
Yeah.
You don't have to know everything. You just, if you know how to find out or how to find people who do, that's very valuable. Of course,
Right.
we in like the information world where anybody and everybody can find information on anything. I mean, you really can. But the
Hmm.
problem is we're all so overwhelmed by the amount of information that really a lot of people just need someone to facilitate that.
Right.
So if you can facilitate, enough to be able to do that, that's very valuable and would put you in an expert status.
Totally. Yes. I'm glad you said that, because I'm going through at the beginning stages of Stu McLaren's tribe experience. It's about building membership sites. And Jenni you and I have 2 of them together, and I have another one. And I just want to learn more how to do it. And one of the membership programs he talks about is, you don't even have to be the guy, the girl. Yeah. It's just that you can bring in, if you're passionate about a certain topic, you enjoy that topic, you can bring in experts who you view as experts, maybe people who have written a book about that topic, bring them together, and you just facilitate that membership site, that conversation. So this doesn't have to be where you're put in front of people if you don't want to be. Most of the time it is, but it doesn't have to be if you're not comfortable with that, but you just really love this topic and you want to create something out of this passion that you have. Well, you don't even have to be the front man or the front girl for it. You could bring in other people to do that. And that's right. It doesn't have to be, you are an expert, but don't let that word stop you, because you just have to be further ahead than other people. Exactly. You look at Jenni and I, you think, oh, they're the experts of private label. Well, I wrote a book about it. Does that mean I'm the expert of the whole world of private label? No, of course not. I mean, I found a topic, or I found a kind of a loophole for private label. I wrote a book about it, and I knew that others didn't. And that was enough for us to create a course about it. And we're always learning more, and you're always going to learn more about your topic, but you just have to know more than the people that you're teaching. So Don't let that stop you. Yeah. One of the other things you said before we got on the call is, what do you talk too much about?
Yeah.
What's a topic you can talk about for hours? What maybe other people say, stop talking about that topic.
Or you feel like you need to stop and you just can't, because you're so excited
if you're struggling with your niche, what's that topic that you just love to talk about? What would you do if money wasn't even an option? What would be that thing that you'd want to be doing with your life? What do people get your advice on? We're going to talk about Facebook groups here in a minute. What are current groups that you're a part of? So likely you might already, if you don't know what your niche is, you don't know who your people are, you may already be hanging out with your people who are going to be your people. Most likely that's the case, because if it's something you're interested in, you're probably a part of these groups already. And so we'll show you here in a little bit how you can go to Facebook and look at some of the groups that you're in. Maybe it's groups that you forgot you were in, and let's just kind of do an audit of those and look through and like, oh yeah, that's right. And there's 5 groups I'm a part of in this topic, and I really haven't been involved there. Maybe that's your thing. And guys, don't stress over this. You could totally, with action comes clarity. So if you're not sure, just start taking an action down a certain road. My friend Dan Miller says, just follow your curiosities. So if you're completely clueless, it's okay. Just start moving in a direction. You know what? Like, I really think, I love to cook barbecue, for example. Let's start looking there. Maybe there's a topic, maybe that's a topic that I can get really excited about and build a business around. Maybe it's something completely different. Just follow your curiosities, start moving in that direction, and you'll find your passion. You'll find it as you move and keep serving people.
And it might look different than you think it will. And that for me has definitely been the case. And part of my book I wrote last year, Sweet Spot Revenue, of my story, and I'm going through it right now in my podcast, so it's fresh on my mind as I'm doing this audio version of it. And it's just, for me, my passion was to be home with my kids and to be a stay-at-home mom. That's all I wanted to do. That's what my mom did, and I really enjoyed having her around. And that's what I wanted for my kids as well. And but I had to figure out a way to supplement our income, right? And so my whole focus was on wanting to be home. But as I started moving into my business and seeing the people that I was serving, I started becoming passionate about them too. And so my passion moved into, it wasn't about selling on eBay. It wasn't about selling on Amazon. It wasn't about private label or even KDP. It's not any of those things. Those are all tools for me to be able to interact with other people and help other people and serve other people.
Yes.
And I love being able to do that. And so, and the feedback I've gotten has been very positive. So it's a win-win, right? But that, I never would have thought that I would be doing what I'm doing. And it was never in my plan, but it was that action, you know, like you were saying, action, with action comes clarity. So it was taking that action and just stepping in out of necessity to start, but then paying attention along the way and realizing, you know what, this is what I really, really enjoy, and not being afraid to step into that further.
Right.
But so
you
it
can always
might
pivot
look
too.
different. You can totally pivot, and you know, just honestly, you will not find it if you sit and do nothing.
Right.
So that's, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be stepping into something. And I'm kind of the mind, some people have a hard time with that because they're afraid of failure. And I just, that doesn't, maybe it's the way I'm wired. I'm not really afraid. I don't think of it as failure.
Right.
I think of pivoting as it's all like, it's just a little bit of a zigzag to your destination, wherever that ends up being, you know? And that is all part of the journey. So I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I didn't have that really hard time at the beginning with 2 kids underfoot, you know, and trying to, I mean, working over 40 hours a week, just crazy stuff that I wasn't planning on doing. It was hard. I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gone through part of that and realized I don't like this so much. I want to do this more. And it, you know, it all defines your journey, and that's an important part of it. So don't be afraid to step in. But I love looking at, like, you have clues in your life of what your thing is. So look at those clues. Look at what, like Ryan was saying, what are people saying?
Yeah.
And
just ask somebody, maybe tonight, like right now, ask your spouse, your friends, your family, whatever, and say, hey, you know what? I'm struggling with, I want to build a business around something besides whatever it is you're doing now. And what do you think I'm good at? Start just listening. Ask 2 or 3 people and see what themes arise. Like, man, you know, Jason, you're really good at this. And, you know, when I asked you about this, you gave me a great answer and it worked. And just start, you know, putting those clues together and start going down that road.
Absolutely.
So cool. But some of you may already know, and a lot of you do, based on the responses. And so the whole theme about this, everything we teach, it can be summed up into serve, engage, grow. And Jenni, it's 4:30, just so FYI, we wanted to, I know we want to get to the Facebook stuff, but we want to chat for a second about serve, engage, grow, because you have to come at this from a service mindset. You know, when you go to a drive-through, the question you usually ask you is, you know, how may I help you? And if you approach your potential audience that way versus like, how can I extract money from them? You guys all know this. You know, if you come at it like, I'm wanting to serve them, I want to help them, you'll be seen as authentic, and the money will come. You know, Jenni always says, if you serve them, they will come. Just like the movie, you know, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams. But if you serve them, they will come. They'll be attracted to you. The right people will come to you. Word of mouth will happen. People say, hey, get over to this group. This person really is really knows their stuff. They're really helpful. I can tell they're genuine. And what's fun about this is you just get to be yourself. You don't have to be anybody else other than you. You can tell your story. And guys, another thing we hear people say is like, well, man, you know, I love this topic, but it's already been done. There's already 500 books on this topic. There's already 5 courses out there that are really big. Who am I to do another course, write a book about this? It's just going to be, you know, white noise essentially, and you're going to be like another fish in this large ocean. And don't do that, because don't worry about that, because your story is unique. Even if your topic is similar to, you know, 500 other people, your story makes it unique. Your personality makes it unique. And you will attract the right people to you. So if you come at this from service, I really want to help these people out. I want to help them get over this hurdle that I've overcome, this obstacle that I've overcome, whatever it is, whatever that thing is on your heart that you're trying to do. Just come at it from, I really want to help people. And I believe all of you are, because you wouldn't be learning about this if you weren't wanting to help people. And when you help them, thankfully, you also get to be able to create an income from it, which is super cool. And might be times when you're asking, would you like fries with that? You can't just continue serving and never ask for an order. We're going to show you how to build something that you can actually sell. And as you serve people, you start engaging with them. You're going to be listening to them. So many different streams of income have come from Jenni and I having, the private label mentoring program that we have, for example. There's been so many other streams of income that we did not expect going into that, but it was listening to our audience that allowed us to then, like, hey, there's a lot of people stuck here. Let's do a product or service that answers that question. And when you go at it from that point, you're seeing where the needs are. Well, you're going to get sales. And so as you get involved in these communities, involved in your ideal audiences, you're going to be able to listen to people and come up with the perfect right thing that's going to answer their questions. So you engage with them, answer their questions, be of service, and your audience is just going to grow. And you kind of just constantly doing that, constantly serving, constantly engaging. And it may not be like going from 0 to 100 in 60 seconds. Some of this is going to take some time, but you continue to do it and your audience will grow.
And not just your audience, your business. And that whole foundation behind that serve, engage, grow is business is really all about relationships. And so you want to foster and nurture relationships. You do that by serving. You serve well, and that will, your audience will grow and your business will grow as well. So that's the foundation behind underneath all of this and what we're going to be digging into. But so we've talked about how to find your thing and giving you some ideas. If you missed it, I know a few people came on late. There's a link in the comments. I think you just put the link, didn't say really what it was. I'll comment underneath that. That was for how to find your passion and how to monetize. It's a link for a webinar we did where we kind of dug deep into that. And so you want to make sure you hit that. We talked about what to expect, and you guys are asking some great questions in the comments, and I wanted to just actually add one piece to it before we dig into to actually looking for.
Yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm.
And that is that I want to ask you guys to trust the process that we're going to walk you through. So we've kind of gotten a little philosophical here, but we're going to get into instruction on things that are very practical for you to do, and you're going to get little pieces at a time. And I just want to ask that you trust the process, okay? Because what happens is the light bulb moments will come. And like Ryan said, what we're working with here is trying to help you guys have a bit of a mind shift. So you are going to be looking at Facebook communities and even looking at your own stuff in your life as you're looking for themes. You're going to be developing an ear to listen differently, and that is a bit of a mind shift. And so I want to invite you into that, and also to just trust this process that we're going to be walking you through over the next 7 days. We are going to be talking, some of you guys are asking, how do I niche down? We are going to totally talk about that. And the best thing, if any of you guys, a lot of you have followed us over the years, and you hear we talk a lot about validating data before we make any decisions as to what kind of resources to invest. It's the same thing here. So we're going to talk about, before you'd say, hey, this is my audience is going to be, I don't know, scuba or mushroom. We're going to go people who like mushrooms in Oregon. And we're going to niche down, and I'm going to talk about my niche is finding ones that are edible. So I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but that's what I'm going to do. Well, we're going to suggest that you back up a little bit. Okay, you're interested in mushrooms. Let's go and find mushroom people, and let's see what they're interested in. Because what you're interested in, it very well could be what other people are interested in, but it might not be. And if you're serving to yourself and not to your audience, you're not going to get anywhere. So you want to be listening. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that niche, like getting really deep down, is going to come from your audience. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to get onto Facebook. I don't know if you want to move and go ahead and share your screen soon, but we're going to be talking about how to find like that over umbrella audience. You want to go really broad and then let those people help you niche down to be very specific. Okay. You might have an idea and you can kind of feel that out, but you want to hit the broadest people who would be you would be considered your people. So if you have your thing, if you know what your thing is, if you have an idea of what it might be, you want to explore a little bit, then I want you to think about if you're one of those people, how would you look for other people like that? Or how would you look for what you're considering? Let's say you are a RV homeschooling family and you want to find, that's the audience you want to find. Okay. Put yourself in the shoes of the people looking for what you have. I want to find, what are you searching for? And that's really how you're going to find your audience. You want to put yourself in their shoes. And then as you get involved in the communities, you'll niche down. We'll talk about that, and you'll niche down by hearing what their needs are in that group. So go really, really broad.
That's good. That's good, guys. This is the Build Your Streams of Income group. This is the link that Jenni that I posted. Then she clarified. This is if you want to go deeper into like what is my passion, how do I find that? This is the webinar here. Also, if you click on units, here's where you can find that right here, monetizing your passion.pdf. That's a little worksheet that she put together based on that content in that webinar. But you guys all can access to this. All access this group. And ongoing, this is a group where you can stay a part of, and we'll be way more active. After the 7 days is over, this group will probably won't. We just basically, it'll stay open for your content, but we're not going to be like answering questions in it.
Right.
And over here is where we'll answer questions. So, okay. Yeah. So Facebook, here we go. All right. So where do we want to start?
Well, we want to talk about one of the greatest places we've discovered and I think this is where I would start for any niche is Facebook. People are on Facebook. More people are on Facebook than ever before. Mm-hmm. And so there are groups, you will be so amazed. I can't even tell you, the more I go, there really is a mushrooms group for the Pacific North, for Oregon, and lots of other kinds of groups too. So it's just crazy to me. And the size of them is amazing. So what we're going to do is show you how to use Facebook groups to find your audience and your niche, and to help build your own audience. This is where we're starting. We want you to find Facebook groups around your topic, okay? So we're going to show you how to do that and what to look for. So
guys, there's a million different places you could find your audience. They're on Instagram, absolutely. Maybe even on TikTok. They might be on Facebook and LinkedIn and all that. But that gets so overwhelming. Let's focus. And we found a really cool way on Facebook to find your people, because a lot of folks are on Facebook.
Right.
And so this is just one way to do this. So to kind of cut through the clutter and think, man, do I have to be everywhere? Do I have to be on every social media platform? No, forget about that. Let's just focus on this. Just do this for now.
Yes. And when you're overwhelmed, you don't take action. So we're going to move you to action. So go into Facebook. And what you're going to do is you're going to be looking for groups, not pages. Okay. Let me just say real quick. A page is there's no interaction with the group members. You want to get involved in a group. You want to find groups. So we're going to look for groups around your topic. Real quick, I'm going to tell you what you're going to look for in a group and what not to look for. And when I post the homework, I will put this in the post for the homework. You are looking for groups. You don't want to find groups that are branded necessarily. That could be questionable depending on how you do it. But starting out, I'd say stay away from groups that are branded, that are around a particular brand. I would stay away from groups that are buy, sell, trade groups. Those are groups where people are posting things to sell or they're on the lookout for something. I would probably stay away from those groups as well. I would stay away from political groups. And I know some of you guys posted in the comments here that you're wanting to work business to business, not business to customer. So if you are looking to serve other businesses, then you will want to be looking for people who are in that market space. So if I know Neil, you had said you want to help people in the UK on Amazon. So you will be looking for those types of groups. But in general, I would say don't look for a business group. Look for something where the people hang out who are interested in the thing, your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are things to look for. Then we're going to look for groups that have 1,000 members and at least 5 posts a day. We'll show you how to do that. So Ryan, let's see, this is your main feed. So on the left there under Explore, there's groups. So you're going to click on that down at the bottom. Yep. LinkedIn could be another place, yeah. But for Facebook, you can still, I'm not as familiar with LinkedIn, so I really can't speak to that, but there's a lot of value here as well. So, okay, so let's look and see some things. I'm trying, well, let's say you want to do you want to throw a random topic out there?
Sure.
Or maybe you don't know. Let's do this. Okay, maybe you don't know. Go to your groups and see what kind of groups you're in and see what the themes are. That's the first thing to do.
Over here, you can see all the groups that you're in, right?
Yes. Okay, so you can do that to see if there's an interest. There might be groups already there that you're involved in. But when you're finding new groups, I like to look through their suggestions, which Facebook gives based on the things that I'm looking for. Now, I use Facebook for business, and so most of mine are around Amazon or around list building or women entrepreneurs, stuff like that are suggested to me. Ryan clearly shops at Costco because he has a My Costco Deals group.
You know what? I've honestly never. I do this I went at it a different way but this is better to do it this way, because this is basically letting Facebook tell me what they think might be good. And so this is a really good exercise because we do shop at Costco. Haven't been in for a while, but we do. And so I'm not sure why this is on there, but interesting.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Facebook listens. We know that. I was having a conversation with my husband about moving VHS to DVD, and not with, 10 minutes later, I've got ads showing up on Facebook about how to do that. So I hadn't even typed it in. We were just having a conversation. So we know, that they're listening. So that is actually maybe one good thing about it is you might be talking about things you're having trouble with that. Look at suggestions for you. There's a see all, you can do that, but you can scroll down and go to categories. And I like to look at so that's scrollable. And I like to look at hobbies and interests under categories. So go back
categories.
Up. Okay. Yep. And scroll to
Right
so hobbies and interests. There's other food and drink. If you're a foodie and you want to go something down that route, there was one for humor. But this kind of gets me going. And you guys, if you've been noticing, I've posted some of these actually. I think I might have posted the woodworking one, maybe not. But Woodwork and Furniture Makers Project Forum, 170,000. So it tells you how many people are in the group. 170,000 members and 120 posts a day. Wow. So basically what you're looking for is that. You're looking for at least just 1,000 people in the group. And I think 5 posts a day. When you get to this many, this is awesome because that shows how engaged it is. A lot of people are engaged in the group, but it can overwhelm your feed. So sometimes, 5 to 10 is still a really good number. But this is helpful looking for, so what is it? Do you like barbecue? You could,
would you click on these? Like, let's say, okay, barbecue, totally my thing. Would you click on this and read the description before hitting join?
Yes, I would, because what I want to do, in fact, that Barbecue Pitmaster Secrets, I don't know if that's a brand. Like, is that a branded group or is it just a bunch of people who like to barbecue?
It says great barbecue pics and description. So it does not look like it's a brand.
Right. So and if it was a brand, like it was some restaurant or some barbecue sauce or a barbecue tools group, that doesn't mean that it's off my list, but I would want to be sensitive to, this is their community that they have built. And so I would go in more with the mindset of maybe there's an opportunity to partner with them.
Sure.
But I don't know who this looks like. Yeah, if you're interested, if barbecuing is your thing, this might be a good group to join. 312,000 members. How many a day? If you scroll down, it says activity at 97 new posts today.
Wow. And it's 6 years old too, so that's good.
Yeah. So this is, remember, we're looking just for the super high level. And what you're going to be doing in the future, in the next few days, is get involved in these groups, in a few of them. And that's when your niche will start being defined. So you don't have to know what it is you're going to do. Just what is your interest? That's really where you're going to be, and start getting involved in those groups. So your homework, we'll do this a couple more times. And guys, if you, there's mushrooms in Tennessee too. Well, maybe mushrooms is the thing. So if you guys want to put a topic in, we could look for UK groups for Amazon. I know
Totally.
Neil was thinking that. We can poke around a little bit. Your homework is going to be to find 3 new groups that have at least 1,000 members and at least 5 posts a day, and join those groups. Okay, so you're finding 3 groups around your thing, your passion, your interest, your topic, the direction you want, where you want to grow an audience. These are your people. Okay, now not all of your people are going to be in your niche where you're focusing in on. You might not know what your niche is yet, and that's totally fine, because you will discover that as you get involved with these people. Okay, so you want to find, your homework's going to be find 3 groups. And again, I'll post a homework post in about an hour in the group, but we can poke around and find some other ones as well. So Tim, just
so you can do it this way. You can just search, or I mean, you can look at this way, or you can actually go to the top and search.
You can, and you can just start typing. Yeah, so we've done that before too, right? So if you did that, we'll do barbecue for now, since we're stuck on that for a second.
So barbecue's a fun one, because you go BBQ or BAR. So let's see, barbecue, and you can get super specific, or you can just say barbecue and then see what comes up. Now, this is bringing up all. So if you search, you want to make sure you come over here and click groups. Now,
Yes.
Groups is at the top here, but still click this here, because you're only looking for groups. And then again, we're looking for, on this, we can't see the number of members, but we can see the number of posts a day, and we're looking for at least 5 posts a day. And all these so far have this, doesn't even say what it is. But you start scrolling through, which ones look interesting. Okay, so that's buy, sell, trade. No, this only had 2 posts. You can weed those out.
Yep.
So let's say, oh, interesting, Pitmaster Secrets and Backyard Barbecue. Click on that. Then you look through here. Does it pass the test? Yep. More than 5 posts a day and more than 1,000 members. Yeah. So, yep, totally good.
And then read the description. And then on the right there under suggested groups, there's even more that are usually related to that, that didn't show up in the original search.
Right.
Okay. So you just need to find 3. If you want to find more, that's fine. You can keep a list, but just join 3. So if you join more than that, you'll probably be overwhelmed by the end of our week together. You will have so much going on.
So Jenny, would you pick the largest ones?
Not necessarily. So sometimes, so the goal here, what's going to end up happening, you want to be the big fish in a small pond, not the little fish in a big pond. So the number of people, that's why I say look for 1,000 people in a group. You can have a lot of engagement in a very small group. You want really, what you want are the people in the group to be engaged. And the number of posts is an indicator of that. Now, just because there's 172 new posts in that group does not mean that it's engaged. I'm a part of a group. I just started an account on MeWe, which is a competitor to Facebook. And just poking around over there, and there's a small business group, and everyone's posting about their business. It's just self-promotion left and right. And nobody's engaging with each other. I posted a couple times in there trying to get engagement going. Nobody's even reading my post. So they're just in there. So there's a lot of new posts, but there's no engagement. Yeah. So this is just an indicator that people are involved in the group, but it doesn't really, there's no way to know whether people are interacting, answering each other's questions, asking questions. Those are things you're going to want to look for once you're in the group. But right now, we can't tell that. So you're going to find 3 groups that have at least 1,000 members and at least 5 new posts a day, and you're going to request to join them. Okay, that's your homework for tomorrow. And once we get in there and you discover this isn't really what I'm looking for, if you'd like, you can go find another group. If you aren't sure, just stick with it and we'll walk through how to determine that in the days to come.
And don't let this overwhelm you either. We're not saying, join 3 groups that have 172 posts a day and read through all of them. That's not going to be the homework. Even later on.
Correct.
So you're going to be able to pick through pretty quickly the ones that you'll be able to know, the posts that are going to be the ones that you want to jump into and engage in.
Right. And let me also say that you might end up, you need to figure out how you use Facebook. I joined a group. It had 300 and something thousand people in it. I don't even know how many posts a day, but it was insane. And it took over my whole Facebook feed. And so what I did was I joined the group, but I stopped following the group. So now I would recommend you do that so that when I want to go in there and engage with that audience, I just go to that group. I still have access to it, but it's not cluttering up my feed on Facebook because it was very distracting. There's so much opportunity out there that I was not getting any work done that I needed to do because I was answering all these questions that were coming across my feed. So now what I do is I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to take 15 minutes and go over there and see if there's somebody I can help real quick. Mm-hmm. And from that one thing, I'll get a bunch of people responding. So you might want to join the group. If it's too busy, stop following the group, but you can still be in the group.
And we'll show you how to do that too. So you don't get overloaded with notifications.
Yes. Cool. Do you want to do that now or do you want to do that tomorrow?
I don't care. We can do it now. I just have to find a group
go to a group that you're already in.
Will it work if I do?
I don't think you can do one that you're
when I'm a part of. Let's see. So I'll do my silent team. So if I wanted to unfollow this, just hit like this right here, notifications.
No.
That
doesn't give you. So the little bell where you have the little number up on the top right. That's a notification.
Right.
So you actually want to not follow them. And I think because you're an admin in that group, you can't do that. There. Oh, there you go. Sorry. So go to join and then just unfollow. Don't leave the group. Just unfollow the group. That's one way to block out your time so that it's not distracting and manage your Facebook time. So join the group. And then once you're in, you can unfollow the group. And then you can still go to the group, but it doesn't clutter your feed.
And you're just not going to get all these notifications.
And you won't get,
Yep. Cool.
Unless it depends on how your settings are, but that's the best thing to do. So your homework today, and we're going to build on this every day. Today, all you need to do is if you know what your thing is or you have an idea, go find groups around what that is and join them. You're looking for groups that have at least 1,000 members and at least 5 posts a day. Join 3 groups, okay? And then I would unfollow them. You don't have to, but that's just a suggestion. If you don't know what your thing is, then you have a little more homework. You need to go watch that webinar that Ryan posted and get the worksheet. And just, even if you're not, you might have a couple directions you're thinking about going, and you can still go and join 3 groups around each direction. You can end up leaving the groups. These is not necessarily for forever. It's just a starting point to help you take action, because I love what Ryan said, with action comes clarity. So that's what we're asking you guys to do. Go find 3 groups with your people or who you think might be your people. It's not the end all. If you're wrong, it's not a big deal. We'll go find more groups. It's really a quick exercise. It shouldn't take you longer than 10 or 15 minutes, and just request to join them. And that's the homework for tomorrow. That's it.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's our homework now.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.